Hello everyone, it's Dave here. Good to say that everyone knows me as the global ambassador and the representative of the dev team of TurboLoop project. TurboLoop is an ecosystem. So today I want to talk about some alternative investing models, that are becoming important in our daily lives. What if I tell you that your money and your investment and your fund can work for you, can work instead of you on daily basis, instead of sitting in a bank account waiting to be destroyed by the inflation rate? So that's why today I'm here to give some specific explanation about how to be a better investor. That's exactly how today I'm here to talk about a new generation of investing models that so many people nowadays are looking beyond traditional investments, looking beyond banking investment, looking beyond the traditional trading. What I am going to introduce you now is called TurboLoop. Let's be honest, many people, for having a safe investment, want three things from that investment. The first one is security. We want to be in a secure place. That's why TurboLoop is here. The second one is growth. That's why we have a velocity cycle. And the third one is a system that doesn't require them to keep working on daily basis, on hourly basis, doesn't require them to check it every single time. But they want something that goes on and on itself. But the reality before TurboLoop ecosystem was completely different. Okay, bank accounts are usually safe. They are safe. But in terms of the growth rate they will experience, the fund will experience, okay, they do not have anything to say. They do not have anything to compare with other forms. If I want to talk about the trading systems, trading can make high returns, but is it safe? It also requires a high level of experience. It also requires a high level of discipline. It also requires your emotional control. So the question is, what is the middle ground here? What is that ideal part here that we want to be in without considering the risk factors, without knowing so many experiences and knowledge, without expecting a low level and amount of ROI? That's why TurboLoop here. TurboLoop is a well-designed, sustainable project in DeFi that allows you to experience all those three factors in one place. That's why we mostly call TurboLoop as a versatile ecosystem. That's why the high return you expect from trading is well provided for you here. That's why the safety you expect from a banking system is well provided here. That's why you don't need to spend too much time on it. You don't require to know knowledge and experiences for that. So TurboLoop is here to alleviate every single one of our problems and to gift us a very nice platform, a very nice opportunity for having a safe, secure, and growable investing journey. So now let's talk a little bit in a realistic form. Let's go through the deepest layers of society. It's a fact that not everyone has thousands of dollars. Not everyone is capable of providing thousands of dollars immediately. So what the solution is? TurboLoop has provided you a situation that you will not be worried about your current financial estate. Because no one will put a little money in the bank as an investment, okay? No one will put a little money in danger of so many risks coming from trading. So what we have provided you here is that start small, be consistent, and then face a remarkable growth by being in TurboLoop plans. Because later on, we will be talking about the way that every single aspect of TurboLoop project is well profitable for you, my friends. In this way, TurboLoop can give hope to those people that doesn't have thousands of dollars by giving them a long-term plan, by giving them 4 plans, by giving them compounding capability and ability, okay? You will be given a long-term mindset in TurboLoop, okay? If you are one of those millions of people that doesn't have thousands of dollars, you are welcomed to your project, to your family, TurboLoop, an integrated family that allows you to start small, be consistent, and keep doing that. Keep repeating that velocity cycle. Keep repeating that profitable cycle. So now let's go for the second group of people. The group of people that, may have around 5K, $5,000, 5 grand. So now imagine you are one of those people that has an investment nearly about 5K. Okay, you have 5K. One of the options that you will face is to putting it in the bank. So it will be safe, but will it really give you a reasonable amount of ROI? Will it really recover the inflation? Definitely not. Depending on the country you are, inflation rate is different. But still, I think putting our money in banking system is totally safe, but it doesn't give us a high return. It doesn't cover inflation, okay? That's why you and your fund actually will lose its value. You got the point? The second option is to going through trading systems. Okay, it may, on the condition of being experienced, on the condition of having knowledge, it may give you a high return. But the point is that, is it safe? Definitely not. You must go through emotional control. You must go through controlling so many risk factors. You must be really knowledgeable to be able to earn that way. Okay, so that's why, again, for the second group of people, TurboLoop is an amazing choice. Okay, you want to start small, like 5K, but you have the capability of changing it into a big amount of money. How? TurboLoop has provided a system that we call it relooping. Okay, you know, if you keep doing the same plan for 3 times, for example, if you keep doing the power loop for 3 times, you will earn 90% in 90 days. So that would be awesome. It means that if you start with 5K, you will be able to get 10K in the end, considering your capital. It means you will earn 100% in 100 days. And that's awesome. So comparing to trading system, in trading there is no guarantee, but in TurboLoop plans, your given profit is promised. Comparing to the banking system, the security is exactly the same level. The safety is exactly the same level because it is a decentralized project, but the return is incomparably more. That's it. That's why all the time TurboLoop is here. That's how TurboLoop goes on, as comprehensive as we want, as versatile as we want, and we are really, really proud to be a part of this amazing project. Now let's talk about the second group of people that have $25,000 to $50,000 immediately and they want to invest it. So they are a little bit richer and wealthier than the previous groups that we discussed, and we alleviated their problems. Now, if someone has this amount of money and wants to go through investing, actually they have so many options. You know, they can put it in the bank that we previously discussed it. They can go through stocks we previously discussed. They can go through real estate, or they can go through alternative markets. Again, good to say that TurboLoop deserves to be one of those main plans. As I told you, TurboLoop can be considered as one of those options, one of those alternative options that will guarantee a fixed amount of profit for you, has the safety you expect from an investing platform, and gives you a very nice and consistent growth. By being in TurboLoop, simultaneously, you will be capable of activating your investments in other markets as well. You know, you can have a very sustainable cycle in TurboLoop and make use of your profit in other markets. That's the magic of being in a sustainable and decentralized project. So now let's talk about TurboLoop plans in details. Okay, we talked about different ways of investment, and now here we go, introducing TurboLoop plans one by one. Okay, you are a newcomer to the project. Doesn't matter how much money you have, because here there is no limitation. Okay, you do not trust the system that much, but the system trusts itself and has shown everything you required. You want to go through the sprint plan to just have a quick test. Okay, this quick test will be profitable enough for you because it lasts a week and it will give you 3% of ROI. What I'm trying to say is that if you start with 10K, at the end of the week, you will get 10K plus $300 as your profit. So you want to be a little bit in a longer position, in a longer plan. Here we introduce you the boost plan or the accelerate plan. Okay, you will be in a 14-day journey and you will get 10% after 2 weeks. Come on, that's awesome. Actually, TurboLoop project and TurboLoop ecosystem has provided different ways for different people, for different strategies. And that's the magic of this amazing project. If I want to talk about other aspects of it, I can talk about the 2 popular plans that TurboLoop has besides the previous ones. So you want to be in a longer plan? PowerLoop is for you. 30-day, it lasts, and it will give you 24% of ROI. This is not the only part. You will get some rewarding token as well. And if I want to talk about other aspects of it, I would like to say, you can also go for the ultimate loop, which will last for 2 months, 60 days, and will give you 54% of ROI. And that's going to be something big. That's going to be something awesome. That's going to be something super valuable for every single one of us. So if I want to talk about other aspects of the project, I would like to say, that this is something phenomenally different from other ways of investing. Safe, secure, profitable. Also, we have provided you, my friends, with a new option in comparing to other aspects of market. Relooping. I told you, you won't have this relooping option in banking systems, but here you have it. I told you, you can repeat the same plan. You can compound your earning in the same plan. And you will get rewards more and more. That's why I told you, for those people who start with a small money, it is completely possible to go through a long-lasting cycle with a long-term mindset and keep growing that small money. TurboLoop has not been designed for only rich people. TurboLoop is a project that has covered every single part and group and classes of the society. If you are someone that is capable of investing $100, welcome to TurboLoop. If you are someone that is able to invest $100,000, again, welcome to TurboLoop, because it generates its profit in different ways, and you definitely know them. The way that TurboLoop generates its profit is something unique. We generate it from the LP, we generate it from the Turbo Swap, we generate it from the Turbo Buy. And what the level of safety is here? Decentralization. No one can be able to have an intervention in the contract. It is an autonomous, well-working, and automated contract. And that's something, and that's a place, and that's an environment that only codes are governing. And we are really, really happy for such thing. So once again, let's go through our explanations by giving you an example. Imagine someone like me has 10K in his bank account. So the first option is to keep it in a bank account and get monthly or annually profits. But is it really interesting? I know that it is completely safe, but it doesn't give us a return that makes us happy or makes us satisfied of putting our fund there. And all the time, because of the level of uncertainty that our world has nowadays, we are in danger of being destroyed by the inflation rate. That's why I myself do not keep my money in the bank. So the second option for someone that has 10K is trading. Okay, in trading, you can actually increase it 10 times. And all the time, there is this possibility in such a fluctuative market to get liquidated, to lose it all, and then nothing, and no one can compensate it for us. The point is, in terms of talking the level of security, TurboLoop has some plans that we know them as TurboLoop Insurance System. It will be like a shield for you, and soon I will be recording a podcast talking about every single details of that Turbo Shield, of that Turbo Insurance plan. And that is going to be awesome. That is going to be perfect. So in trading, we do not have any safety, but we have high amount of ROI and profit. All the negative sides, the downsides, the disadvantages that trading and banking system have are removed here. And now all we have provided is a safe and well-profitable platform for you, my friends, with a high level of safety, with a reasonable amount of ROI. So how we are safe? One of the factors is that we have used stable coins instead of using other tokens or coins. That's how we are far away from day-to-day risks and fluctuations in the market. That's why all the time I tell everyone that TurboLoop deserves to be known by everyone, and everyone deserves to know what TurboLoop actually is. So this is exactly why on a daily basis we are holding our global calls, and you are, all of you, welcome to this call to ask whatever you want and to be posted, to be updated regarding the latest news of what TurboLoop is and how TurboLoop is going on. Happily, we have 8,000 of active users nowadays, and this is just the beginning of this. We have provided everything profitable for you. And don't forget that whatever step you take in TurboLoop is profitable enough to keep you in this ecosystem. There won't be any reason to step out of it because whatever you need is well provided here. Thank you everyone for watching this episode of our podcast, of the Turbo Podcast. It's Dave here, the global ambassador and the representative of the dev team. I am honored to be here and thank you for your attention.